What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to bring back the AFL content, and I'm going to be going over what I believe are the best and worst ever AFL Guernseys worn by each club. Obviously this list is based off my personal opinion, so you can feel free to disagree, which I'm most likely going to do. And I'm trying to get a couple more AFL videos out before Christmas, so expect a few AFL videos, and then after Christmas do some more different sort of videos. But yeah, let's go over the Guernsey. So first up, we've got the Crows, and I think that the best Guernsey is the 2009 away jumper with the blue crow with the red and the yellow. I think it very much blends well. I like it how it's predominantly red, and I like how they've incorporated the crow. I think Brett Burton wore that when he took the mark of the century. I'm sure probably Andy Munro has this jumper as well in this collection, along with probably half the other ones that I'm mentioning in this list. And 2014 away, I reckon, is their worst. It's I still think that it's supposed to be like an emblem of South Australia, but looking at it again, it looks pretty rubbish. I don't know what they were going with there, but yeah, it looks a bit messy, doesn't look too great, and I don't know what it's supposed to be, but yeah, it's not the greatest jumper. So for the Lions, I think they're the best jumper. Is their home away from home jumper, really. They wear this jumper to all games in Melbourne, sort of to signify Fitzroy, where they are with the blue, the Fitzroy gold. It looks very, very good in my opinion, so that's one of my favourite jumpers of any club, but definitely for the Lions. And then the 2016 away jumper is my least favourite, you'd probably say. The Lions have a few good ones, but this is probably their least, or my least favourite. I don't know why. There's like a line going straight down the middle with the line on top, and then the white background. I don't think it works well, and I think that's why they only use it for 1 or maybe 2 years. Carlton. Now, Carlton don't really have too many variants of the jumper, so that's why I went for their best jumper being the home, which for most clubs, that's not the case. But yeah, 2015, the current really home jumper, I went for the Blues. I think it looks the best. I think the current emblem that they use for the CFC looks better than the more rounded one. So yeah, that's why I went for that one, and I just think it's an iconic jumper as well. And the 2018 away probably is the worst as well. I don't know why it's grey. Yeah, every time they play in that jumper, it almost seems as if they're like, always dirty. And I don't know. I think white's a lot better. Alright, for Collingwood, I went for their best jumper being the 2016 Indigenous jumper. I really like the swooping magpie, or the magpie out in front. Really, really looks awesome. Yeah, I think it's better than their normal jumper. More going on in this one. Then you got the Indigenous patterns. Their worst, in my opinion, is the 1999 away, which I think is their first ever away jumper. I'm not liking it. I don't like the Collingwood emblem, how it's like just the oval. It doesn't even have the other bits of the Collingwood logo. That looks a bit weird. And then the back, the shielded numbers, and then I don't know, the way the stripes are organised, it just doesn't really look that great. So that's why I have that. Probably is the worst. As for the Bombers, they don't have too many jumpers either as well, to be honest. So I'm going to go for their best being the current 2016 to current away jumper with a red. I don't know why, but that looks great. That definitely works well. I know it's really primarily the one colour, but I don't know why. I like the shade of red. It just looks very good. And their worst, I'd probably say, is the 2013 away jumper. I don't think it's that bad of a jumper. I don't know why they went with grey, since Essendon have absolutely no resemblance to grey whatsoever. I think they've got the player names of their past Bomber plays or whatever, but yeah, past the symbolism aside, not a very appealing jumper at all. So Fremantle, this one was a bit tough because I do have a few good ones, especially the older jumpers, and that's why I went for the 2001 to 2010 home jumper as their best jumper. I think a lot of people would agree with me to say that their old home jumper was a lot better than their new one. And the new one's a bit basic and plain, whilst the old one, I love the anchor, the tricolour. Whilst I'm not saying this is that bad of a jumper, but I think probably this is their worst, the 1998 to 2000 Clash jumper. I don't know why they were going for a 3D design of the anchor. It does look very cool, but also for a footy jumper, I'd probably say it isn't really the way to go, making things like 3D and, having all these colours blending together, all these gradients as well. Geelong. Now, Geelong, another team, probably the team with the least amount of home jumper or away jumper variants at all. So this was a little bit of a challenge, but I went with their 2008 away jumper, in my opinion, as I think their best looking jumper. They chucked that cat that they use for their logo on the jumper. It looks very, very good. Yeah, I just think it's a pretty good jumper. And then the 2003 away, where they've got the lighter blue and the darker blue. I don't know why they chose 2 shades of blue. That looks pretty ugly. And I think they only used that in 2003 as an away jumper for clashes against Collingwood and North Melbourne. But I don't know why they could have just used something that included a little bit more white, or like white or something else. I don't know. Gold Coast, I went for their 2018 Indigenous jumper as their best. I don't know. I love the shades. The sun, it's very main focus of this jumper. And I like the patterns on the edge as well. It's a very bright jumper as well. Like the red, the yellow stand out. The orange, I don't know. I just really like it. So I'll probably say that one, the best jumper. Whilst the worst, it was a bit hard, but I went for a promotional jumper where they used in one of their games. Yeah, it's just got the Foundation GC member on it. And I don't know, it looks kind of crap. GWS, I went for their 2015 Indigenous jumper. And I think at the time, this was the best Indigenous jumper in the comp. But yeah, I just love the patterns, the designs. It's just really awesome to see. It pops out when you have a look at it. Whilst the 2012 to 2013 away jumper, I think's the worst, because I don't know, the G's very small in the middle, not where the G should be. Yeah, and I think the G looks a lot better either orange or white, not dark green. So probably that, in their very short history, is their worst jumper. Hawthorn, this was a little bit tough to pick their best home jumper, but I think the 2013 away jumper looked, in my opinion, the best. Like, I really like the look of that hawk. It looks very fierce, like it's coming at you, like it's about to swoop you, even though magpies swoop. But anyway, yeah, I just think that's a really good concept of a jumper. And I think more teams should embody, their mascot in a jumper like that. Whilst the 2016 away jumper, I'll probably say is their worst. A lot of people didn't like it. They resembled it to like the Power Rangers, and yeah, the gold, I think they're chevrons. I don't know what they're trying to do with that, but yeah, it doesn't really scream Hawthorn at all. It just screams like the gold you'd wear, like, I don't know, ancient Egypt, but not on a football ground, I wouldn't say. Melbourne. Now, Melbourne had a few good ones as well. In fact, a lot of their older jumpers were very, very nice. I went with their 2005 away. I love how they've got the M, which is not only the demon head, but it actually is an M as well. And I love the red. The red really looks nice. Whilst 2017 away, I think is probably their worst, because it's pretty lazy. It's just, it looks like a training jumper to me. The white background and the logo on the top. Like, I could have done a better effort, I reckon. As for the Kangaroos or North Melbourne, I think a lot of people would agree with me there, but their best ever Guernsey was their 1996 to 2002 classic away jumper where they wore when they were, arguably the best team in the comp in those years. I love the kangaroo bouncing. It's just iconic, really. Yeah, I think it's a lot better than the normal Guernsey, and to be fair, I reckon they could argue to change it. Whilst I think their worst was a promotional jumper for orange, which is just the same jumper but in orange, and I don't know, like, you gotta just say that's a bit, it's almost laughable, the jumper. I know it's for a promotion, but North Melbourne and orange definitely do not mix. Now, Port Adelaide, my favourite jumper was one that they used only in one game, but looking at it, I think it looks so cool that they should bring it back. But apparently, this was based off like a competition where like some 7-year-old designed it, and it looks so cool. It's got the hand holding the bolt of electricity as the main focus of the jumper, and I just think it looks so cool. Whilst their current jumper, the away one in grey, I prefer it to be a white one. Silver just looks pretty, I don't know. Grey's always been an ugly colour for jumpers in my opinion, and that is no exception. So for Richmond, they also haven't really had too many variants of away jumpers, but I went for the 2007 to 2014 away jumper as their worst. If they're going to make an away jumper, I don't know why they wouldn't have just made something like they did currently back then. But their 2020 Indigenous, in my opinion, is their best looking, because I think the yellow away jumper for the Tigers is one of the best, but the Indigenous one for 2020 is even better. I can't really say a lot there, but it just looks really good. For St Kilda, they've had a lot of variants of away jumpers and jumpers in the past, but I went for their classic 1997 to 2001 home jumper. The colours work very, very well together. The cross, the black, red and white, all colours blend well. I just think it's a very, very good looking jumper, because I think it was originally an away jumper, but it was so popular that they changed it to a home jumper. Whilst in 2010, I think it's safe to say that this is probably the worst away jumper. I mean, the very thin red and black and the white outpowers the rest of the jumper significantly. They used it for the 2010 grand final, in which we got smashed. That probably is some sort of a reason to it as well. But yeah, I just don't think it's that good of a jumper, and they could have definitely done a lot better. Next up, we got the Sydney Swans, another team who do not have too many variants of AFL jumpers at all, but I went for the 2018 to 2020, the current Indigenous jumper that they use. I think the Swan, like, that is just so cool. The design of the Swan and the finger dot paintings and all that, like, it's a really good jumper in my opinion. Whilst their worst, I would say, is a promotional jumper, 2011 QBE Insurance Promo jumper. I don't think this has got any relation to heritage, but if it is, forget me if I'm wrong there, but it's just red and white stripes. But I much prefer the current Sydney jumper than something like that. For West Coast, I've got the 2018 to 2020 current home jumper. I just think it looks so good. Like, I like it how they changed the shade of blue to a more lighter tone. I think it's royal blue. Yeah, I just love it. Like, the eagle itself is a lot better than their older ones. Worst jumper, I'm probably going to go with a 2000 to 2002 away jumper. As much as this is like, you look at it and it just automatically blows you away. But all the different shades of blue, red, orange, I don't even, yellow. Yeah, it would have been a nightmare to probably make. And yeah, it's just a color mess in my opinion. Too many colors going on there, too many gradients, too many this and that. It looks cool from afar, but as an AFL jumper, I don't think you want to be having something like that. Whilst the Western Bulldogs is the last team I'm going to go over, and I think their best is the 2016, I think it's a Be More Bulldog promotion jumper, but it's got the white. I almost like the white better than the blue. The white with the stripes, and then the Bulldog on the right. It just looks so cool. The fierce Bulldog. I really honestly think that they should incorporate this into their home jumper, in my opinion. Whilst their worst jumper, I think is for sure the Thor jumper, 2019 Thor jumper. I know why they did it, Marvel Stadium and all that, but it just looks really stupid. It's almost comical, the fact that they actually had to wear that out on the field. The kids probably liked it, but yeah, most people probably wouldn't have thought the same thing. But yeah, that's it. That's my list. That's my list of the Guernseys. I think at the same time I'm recording this that the 2021 AFL fixture is going to come out. So when that comes out, I'll have a video on that. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. It was a bit of a different one, a bit of a quick one, but I'll only continue this sort of series in a way if you guys do get around it. So make sure, leave a like, let other people know about it, and I will definitely see you very soon in my next video.